Market Monday, we are back. Team of the week this week because of Hurricane Milton and its impact on where EA's studio is, and all that sort of thing is getting moved to next Wednesday. So next Wednesday, we're gonna not only have week 5, but week 6 team of the week. Honestly, I'm actually excited for this because it kind of guarantees we're not gonna have a dud, right? We've got now 6 champions, so surely 1 or 2 of those cards is gonna be very, very good. So I kind of take it as a little bit of a positive, that team of the week is, not happening this week. But other than that, the rest of the content schedule is pretty standard. Team Captain Release 3, which is already out in-game. That is Pat Tillman and the punter. I don't want to zoom in too much here, but Pat Tillman, 89 speed, plus you get all 32 team chems, so essentially 90 speed. Good zone coverage, not the man cover structural, a little bit short too, but, that's all DBs in this game. And a punter, probably will be better later on in the year, but right now, Pat Tillman is probably the best team captain in the game. And then your AKAs for today, which I guess we'll talk about right now. Ray Nitschke, the Standard Edition and the LTD Edition. I will say the Standard Edition has 70 zone coverage. I don't want to zoom in too much there. The Standard Edition has 70 zone coverage. The LTD has like 89 zone coverage. So vast, very big difference. And it kind of makes the Standard Edition just really it's the first time, I guess Gronk too, but it is significantly worse than the LTD. And then for your content schedule, and then Mahomes. Sorry, but Mahomes, as a Chiefs fan, he's terrible. Just doesn't get Gunslinger. Don't know why they don't get tier 2 abilities. But for the rest of the content schedule, Gridiron Guardians Release 2, which will go over the champions and the LTDs, in 30 seconds. Reduxes, which will be 88 overalls. And finally, Legends, which we already do know via MUT Leaks to be Steve Hutchinson, Herman Moore, and DeMarcus Ware. Steve Hutchinson, by the way, gives +1 zone coverage legend. I think it's +1 zone coverage. Is it to all players or to legends? If it's to all players, that's actually a pretty significant boost, I would say. And we have a bunch of left guards already, but he would be the best one. Herman Moore, we'll have to wait and see the speed on his card. And then DeMarcus Ware. By the way, do you see that? I think it said ×2 Giants Chem. I don't know what that's going on there, but hey, that's Herman Moore. But moving on down, a few things I guess we can just go through. We'll eventually get down to the Gridiron Guardians. Let me actually clear that up. Team Diamonds has been staged. Now, stage doesn't necessarily mean it's coming soon. It's just it's now kind of been initially put into the game, I believe. I'm not really, and I did like the tweet because Team Diamonds, you guys know my favorite content, but I wouldn't expect anything really revolving around Team Diamonds until we see either MUT Leaks tweet out some more stuff about it, some cards, or it's put in the schedule. We've gone through Team Diamond waiting for the last 2-3 years. It's Team Diamonds, are they coming? And it used to come pretty much middle to early September. Last year they came out, I think it was early December, or maybe late November. So I'm not really expecting Team Diamonds for the next few weeks. Honestly, I think the next season is just going to be entirely around Most Feared. So I'm probably not expecting Team Diamonds until at least early November. That would probably make a lot of sense for them. I'm both waiting to see Team Diamonds, though. It's good to see if they're going to be in the game because I'm always worried every year that they're not going to do Team Diamonds. It's my favorite content. Next up, we have got your Season 3 Field Pass players. Now, I have a bit of a take on this one. So, Brian Dawkins is awesome, right? 6-foot safety. Might be the Ed Reed killer on the market, but Brian Dawkins is going to be awesome. They should also get that Most Feared chemistry that I assume we're going to have. Going to be a really good card. Unfortunately, I feel like the rest of the champions are cool names. They're just not going to be that great of cards. Like Christian Okoye, he's a fullback. Probably the second best one, maybe. Vanden Bosch has always been, he's had cards before, but he's always been a slower defensive end that you would play at D-tackle. Levon Kirkland, we'll see. He had a middle linebacker card, I believe, in Madden 22. It was actually, I think, pretty good back then, but we'll have to wait and see. The good thing about the Season 2 players is they got really good abilities, so I'm assuming these guys will too. But you know how EA does, they're going to cap the overalls until they come out with certain overalls. And then finally, Martellus Bennett, he's just always, during his career, he was just a slower tight end. So, we'll have to wait and see the stats on these cards. Brian Dawkins, though, is awesome. Probably going to be the best Season Pass player we've had since Season 1. Although Season 2... with the 89 overalls, Tyron Smith's still really good. Michael Penix can be argued as the best quarterback in the game right now. So I think they've one thing, EA, you can say they've nailed. The season pass this year has been much better than last year, and I would even say the year before with that. And then finally, Gridiron Guardians Part 2. Your champions are Terry McLaurin, Jair Alexander, Kevin Zeitler, Eric Kendricks, and Eric Armstead. Terry McLaurin and Jair Alexander, easily the 2 headlining players. Kevin Zeitler is a much-needed upgrade at right guard. The highest right guard in the game right now is 85, so that is a significant upgrade. Eric Kendricks and Eric Armstead, we'll have to wait and see their stats. Hopefully, Kendricks is fast enough for middle linebacker. He's always hit or miss. was a faster linebacker earlier in his career, but he's a little bit older now. So, to be honest, if they gave Zayvon Collins 85 speed, I'm only expecting 86, 87 speed on Eric Kendricks. But Jair and Terry McLaurin should be pretty good. And your LTD is Vita Vea with your 86s being a spread of players. Jermaine Johnson, Trayvon Morrig might be a budget beast. Hopefully they give him 88 or 89 speed. Same with Paulson, Adebo, Dewan Jones. But those, I believe, are all of your MUT leagues. Yeah, that's pretty much everything we've got. Of course, AKA content, I guess we'll recap it. Next week's AKA content, if I can get down to it in time. Denzel Ward and Teron Armstead, or I thought maybe it's Andrew Luck. It's Andrew Luck and Reggie White. I forgot the actual... I swear... Okay, so yeah, these were the two... I swear it was Andrew Luck and Denzel Ward, but I guess it's Andrew Luck and Reggie White, unless maybe it's Luck and Ward and then White, because like it's not going to be two LTDs. So maybe it is Luck and Denzel Ward, and then Teron Armstead and Reggie White. I believe there was an image somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Andrew Luck and Denzel Ward are the next two AKAs, with the following week being Reggie White and Teron Armstead. But I'm a bit bummed about Andrew Luck because Mahomes didn't get a tier 2 ability, so Andrew Luck is not going to be getting a tier 2 ability, which, dang, kind of sucks because he's just Gunslinger's kind of, I think, the most important ability in the game right now. And they're ruining two of, I think the best quarterbacks and most fun quarterbacks to use in MUT every year. And it's just because of a simple ability thing that shouldn't be that hard to be like, hey, just give him tier 2 abilities and voila, they become really, really, really good cards. And isn't that good for everybody? But yeah, those are your MUT leaks. Let's now get into MUT. If you want extended coverage of the market and how I make my coins, subscribe to the Coin Bible exclusively on Team Get Lucky, link in the description. But now getting into Madden, first thing I want to discuss or just talk about in general, ranked is still broken. Yes, it got re-released today. They reset all of the ranks, but there is like a bunch of bugs going around where like if you win a game, you lose SR. So I wouldn't touch it, and it looks like the ranking, it looks like the leaderboard, unless I'm mistaken, it looks like the leaderboard didn't get reset. I'm still seeing last season's ranking points, which again, really, really dumb. I think they've really fumbled. Like, ranked has potential to be the best mode, and it's just like a few things kind of hindering it. So yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just my leaderboard is bugged, but I'm still seeing, the old ranking point system, which is really, really dumb. But yeah, people are like losing SR when they win and stuff like that. I had something else I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I also do have word, and I do have sources, I would say, on this situation because of the hurricane. The fix for ranked is gonna be a little delayed, so ranked might be bugged and broken essentially for another week and a half, I think at the earliest. Hopefully they fix it. I honestly would just like them to gate it again, because people are just wasting time at this point playing and losing SR for winning. But yeah, don't expect a fix for that, for a week and a half because of the hurricane. But now getting into everything. The first thing I want to talk about market-related stuff is Reduxes. So we're getting 88 Reduxes this week, and now that we kind of have a plan or we have a pattern we've seen with how the Redux market does work. So first time around when we got 86 Reduxes, the 86 LTDs, the 86 Reduxes crashed because the offer was strictly for 86 overalls. But then when we got 87 overall Reduxes, 87 overall Reduxes didn't really crash that much because, well, the offer was an 86 plus overall Redux player. So the 86s again tanked in price when we got 87 overall Reduxes in the corresponding offer. But 87 overalls did drop. They dropped, don't get me wrong, but they didn't like plummet in price. I remember like Vernon Davis Reduxes was still like 750k. Darius Slay was like 500, 600, but then he went back up to 700k because the supply of them, they were just harder to pull, so the supply wasn't outrageous. So now going into this week when we know 88 overall Reduxes are coming, would I still sell very, very expensive 88 LTDs? Yes, I think you have to. I have a Tyreek Hill that I'm wondering if the vintage version of Tyreek Hill now goes back into the sets. That would be a really interesting twist. That would actually be pretty cool, but I have, like, for example, like I said, 88 overall Tyreek Hill. Michael Vick's not too expensive. Is Gronk's an 89, I believe, but like Tyreek Hill, I'm trying to think of like the most expensive 88 overall Reduxes. It's got to be like Nate Wiggins, Xavier Worthy, and like those are cards I would sell because they are very, very expensive alongside Tyreek Hill. But on that note, the real market crash for Reduxes this week is going to be 87s, right? Because I assume that the Redux offer is going to be choose whatever it is, 87 plus Reduxes, and 87 overalls are going to be pulled a majority of time in those. So I really expect the 87 overall Redux market to be the one that really tanks whenever that offer releases, whether it's Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, who knows, because 87 overall Reduxes are still pretty expensive. I mean, if you look at this filter right here, and I'm looking at 86, 87 Redux, there are, like, I just now got, like, there are not that many. If you look, let's just go, hey, let's filter by, let's go strong safety. Let's see how many Justin Simmons there are up. 2. You see the supply of them just isn't that many. That's what's going to happen to 88 overall Reduxes. But the 87 overall ones, like a Justin Simmons, that still, you could probably get a 250, 275k sale on that. Like, that's a card you need to sell. If you have, like, Derek Stingley, Darius Slay, Vernon Davis, Kyle Juszczyk that are still going for above 400,000 coins, I think those need to be auto sales, because I think at minimum, right, they drop 100k, 150k, because that offer, again, is going to be more focused on 87 Reduxes than 88. So this is the first thing I want to talk about. If you have any 87 overall Reduxes in your binder, 86s, I actually wouldn't sell, because you could just, if they're really cheap, hold on to them for Thursday, they could go up. If you have any expensive 86 Reduxes, I guess you could sell, but I don't really have a direct answer for that. But 87 Reduxes, make sure you guys get rid of those before that offer comes into the game. Next segment I want to talk about, and this actually is looking a little bit ahead into the MUT calendar, but I think it's one that's worthwhile. So, now I'm normally on a different schedule than the average MUT player. I pretty much only field a very competitive team when I'm playing MCS. My MCS, well, this last event just ended. I don't have to play for 20 days, so I sold up pretty much a majority of the, I would say, expensive pieces of my team. I still got to sell Tyreek Hill. DK Metcalf, I was just waiting for the offer to go away. I'm going to sell him either today or tomorrow. And then defensively, I think the only expensive piece I have is Cam Curl, and he's just like really cheap for an LTD, and I still think he's really good in game. But you can see, majority of my team is gone. Like, I have Will Levis, but he's 200,000 coins, right? What am I going to do selling him? And I still think he's probably the best quarterback in the game now that Mahomes does not get Gunslinger. But on that note, I want to say and talk about, I think there's going to be a great market reset, not this week, but the following week for not only Season 3, when we're getting, you know, those Season 3 Field Pass players that we talked about, but Most Feared. I think Most Feared is going to be that first huge promo theme. Like, we have a promo theme team for Gridiron Guardians, and that also kind of expands to my point where I feel like Gridiron Guardians are kind of inflated right now because of that Gridiron Guardians theme team, and onto that point, all the newish content, because you guys are seeing essentially every champion LTD, any card that comes out right now has that Gridiron Guardian chemistry, and of course, if you have the Kyle Hamilton and the Dallas Goedert boosted up, they're going to boost these cards, and that goes away on the 17th of October, which is the day that Most Feared promo starts. And again, I think the Most Feared theme team is going to happen, and that's going to be just universally the most popular theme team. And I'm not necessarily saying or recommending, like, hey, you buy the Most Feared theme team, or you buy Most Feared cards in general on the 17th, next Thursday. I just think there's going to be a massive sell-off on almost like a lot of cards. I would say a lot of top-end meta cards, you know, when Most Feared is rolling around. And I'm also not saying, like, sell your team right now, although I will say the earlier the better. I do think you guys are going to want to get ahead of, I would say, the mainstream Madden community. And I would sell, like, you know, maybe hold on to these cards this week, play out your champs, play out your gauntlet. But, like, once you're done with that stuff over the weekend, I would say, like, Friday, Saturday's been the most expensive days for non-legend cards. I think it's a really good period to kind of mass sell off your team. As well as that, like, just make sure you're done with all your Season 3 objectives, your Season 3 level, and you can kind of take a little bit of a mini vacation before we get back into the swing of things with Season 3. I said Season 3, Season 2. Season 3, Most Feared, and all that sort of jazz. Because, I mean, last year, Most Feared theme team ran the block. I mean, that theme team was good until, like, pretty much the Zero Chill theme team, I would say. It was the first mainstream mega theme team, I would say. Mega promo theme team. Had great boost. A ton of cards, right? We were getting 8 to 10 champion LTD plus level cards every single week. And I wouldn't be also surprised. It's going to sound weird, but they did it with the Gridiron Guardians, and I'm kind of just sitting on one filter. But I wouldn't be surprised if they start giving Most Feared theme team to a lot of, like, just other cards too. Like, it just seems to be a thing that EA is doing to kind of sell more packs, make all the cards they release now more and more relevant, and it's kind of smart by them. So that's really what I wanted to get across to you. There's not, like, specifics to it, I would say. I do think a lot of, like, the most expensive cards right now, which are the Gridiron Guardians, right? Zayvon Collins, not really one of them. Tomorrow, I will say these cards have gone down a little bit, but I mean, Isaiah Pacheco, Chris Olave, Jerome, like, these cards are still 500k if you can get for them. I, I just think these are really, really expensive cards that are going to be mass sold off when people start panicking and seeing those most feared cards to start. Another one too, like the team builders. These 89 team builders, man, the good ones at least. Now Richardson crashed today because of Mahomes, but I mean, I sold off a lot of these guys like Justin Reed, and it looks like they're going for around 600K. Like, that's really, really, really expensive. We're getting a free safety in the form of Brian Dawkins that you're going to be able to get to, I believe, 90 overall at minimum, like day 1 of Season 3 or the most feared Season 3 theme. So, I just want to kind of put that out there. I'm not going out there and saying sell your entire team right now. Just say, look to move off players, I would say, within the next week or so. Get ahead of the mainstream Madden community. And while your cards are still, what I would say, pretty expensive, move off them. Because I think we're going to see a major market drop on a lot of the high-end meta cards that are currently meta right now when that most feared hype and excitement starts rolling around next week. And one thing I forgot to say in that segment, or I might have said it, but I'm not necessarily saying, too, like, again, you're buying most for your team. I think you're just going to be able to buy back the cards you sell this week for significantly cheaper, maybe even in the crash before the crash next week. And I think you're just going to be able to save a lot of coins. But the last thing I want to talk about is some sets, right? Some profitable sets that have been working for me and the community really, really well within the past few weeks. I don't have too many of them. Don't want to spill all the Coin Bible secrets, but I don't really mind sharing sets because I think they're just something that kind of come and go. Probably when I show, like, I would say the main set I think that's been really, really consistent within the past week or so are the Campus Hero 86s. Unfortunately, they've removed the 86 overall legend sets and haven't brought them back, so you'd be surprised. 83 overalls are very, very easy to pick up for like 15,000 coins, yet, you know, the 86 overall Campus Heroes are still going, except for Patrick Surtain, but like Joe Alt's been going for 105 to 110k, Malik Neighbor's still going for 110k, and while you do need 283 overall Campus Heroes, pick these guys up for 20k, they'll even pop up for way less than that, and then it's any 83 overall, 3 of them, and that could be, you know, filtered by legends, core elites, like boom, example, 13k. You buy 3 of these Larry Allens for 13k, that's 39,000 coins. You spend 40,000 coins on the other 2 83s. That's what, 69,000 coins? I think that's the right number. Might be 79,000 coins. Either way, you're making easily 10, 15k profit after tax on a very, very simple set where you only have to buy 5 cards. And then I'd say the other ones that are really, really good, but a bit more of a grind, are going to be the new team builders. You guys, if you're new to the channel, if you're old to the channel, familiar with the channel, I would say, team builders have always been kind of that cash cow that if you want to put in the work, you're going to make a lot of coins. And I would build up to the 89 overalls, especially, right, Justin Reed going for 630k, Mike Hilton probably going for around the same mark. That seems to be the peak, you know, 89 overall team builder card. So Justin Reed, 630k. If we go to his set really, really quickly, boom, boom, boom. Now, I don't necessarily know if you can snipe it. You can see I have some Joe Walls I still got to sell. You're not really going to want to snipe or buy these 86 overall guys individually, but rather you're going to go and have to build those. So, yes, you're going to have to buy 2 86 overalls. Those are going to run you anywhere from 80 to 85,000 coins. If you're lucky, you get them for 75,000 coins, but I would say 80,000 coins is probably the number you're going to be targeting. So, that's 160k right there. And then these 86 overall AFC West cards are pretty easy. Let me take off the filter real quick. These ones are pretty easy to build. It's only 4 cards, and it's 4 84 overalls, or 3 84 overalls, and 1 82. 84 overalls, I believe, are going to be going, I actually will have to go to the auction house. I believe they're going for the low 30s. So, you know, I would say, let's say 33k for each of the 84s, which would be 99,000 coins, and an 82 overall, I believe, is like 12,000 coins, as you can see on your screen right there. So, realistically, it's not going to cost you more than like 120k, I would say. Maybe the 84s have gone up, but when I was looking at the AKA market earlier today, they were going for 35k. But maybe I'm a little bit wrong on the numbers here. Let's look up some 84 overall legends. Okay, so maybe they are going for 40k. Maybe I was just seeing some AKA 84s for really cheap. But even still at 40,000 coins, let's say we buy them for 37k. That's 97, 14, 21, so 111, I believe that is. 111,000 coins, is that right? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's right. 111,000 coins plus 12,000 coins. Again, you're spending around 122,000 for each of the 86 overall team builders. You need 3 of them, so that's going to be 360k. And then you're buying the other 2 86s for 80k. So I don't know the exact numbers on that, but I would imagine that's pretty cheap. I actually can get my phone out here really quick, but I believe that's under 500,000 coins, or it's got to be pretty close. 122 times 3 is 366. plus the 160k. It's 526k, and you guys saw Justin Reed is going for 630. Mike Hilton, maybe you can get that 700k, probably not, probably more around the low 600s, but even at that, you're going to be making like 50k a set. So again, it's a little bit more of a grind. You got to buy a good amount of cards. I think it's like 20 or so cards altogether, but team builders, if you're really putting the effort and the grind, is something you could do literally every minute of the day, and you're going to be making profit. But yeah, those are two, and I guess you could say that's more than 2 sets because team builders will have multiple 89s you could do. You also could just individually sell the 86s if you can't afford to kind of collect 3 86 team builders into 86 overalls. But either way, those are a few sets you guys can do to make some profit. For the time being, if you guys want more investment help, again, TGL, the Coin Bible, link to that is always in the description. Self-plug there. But that's all for Market Monday. I will catch you guys some other time. We'll have to wait and see. Comment if you have any questions. Like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. And until next time, peace.